Good morning. This is Morning Thoughts with Darrell. I'd like to talk to you today about who are we fighting? Each one of us, we're in the middle of a battlefield. We watch the news and we see all kind of stories of evil in our communities. There are battles going on all around us. We hear every week of how many murders are taking place in our cities. There are reports of human trafficking that go right through the small town where I live. Families are under attack in our communities. Our Christian faith and our Christian values are mocked by the world as being foolishness. It is very disappointing to see our country and faith being attacked. It made me ask the question, who are we fighting? Well, as I turn to the scripture, the Bible gives a glimpse of who our enemy is. Paul tells us in Ephesians who our fight is against. In Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, it reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So, the real battlefield is within each one of us. If you're like me, I bet you are, then you have a battle going on within you each day. I know I do. I struggle with sin daily. I know that I should do, and I don't do it. This is the battle I fight every day. Satan has a powerful army whose goal is to defeat the believers of Christ. Paul touched on this in Ephesians. And then in Romans, he talks about how effective the enemy is. Reading in Romans chapter 7, verses 15 through 20, it reads, "I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I do. And if I do what I do not want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is no longer I myself who do it, but the sin living in me. For I know that the good itself does not dwell in me, that is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For I do not do good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Now, if I do what I do not want to do, it is no longer I who do it, but is sin living in me that does it." So how do we fight this battle against principalities? Well, we can't do it on our own will. We need God's armor. Paul tells us in Ephesians how to arm ourselves with the spiritual battle within each one of us. Therefore, this is in Ephesians chapter 6, 13 through 18. "Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything to stand firm then, and with the belt of truth buckle around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of Spirit, which is the sword of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kind of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for the Lord's people." When you put on the armor of God, then we are drawing closer to God. We do this, we can claim victory. In James chapter 4, verse 7, it reads, "Submit themselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you." So we as Christians, we can win this battle within each one of us. In turn, we can influence our families, our small influence of people around us. Not everyone is going to get on board. Our neighborhoods, towns, cities, and countries are at stake. I'd like to close by reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. "For the word of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." You guys have a wonderful day.